welcome to this solo playthrough of Race for the Title, the new football card game by us at Webstar Games. What I'm going to do in this game is play a solo match. I'm going to be the manager of Dynamo and I'm going to take on the bot. The game, it's Sporting who I'm up against here. Now, let's first look at the starting hands for each team, or first let's look at this here. This is the marketplace. So in the marketplace we've got 3 rows of cards with different values. So these are the cheaper cards that cost up to 4. There's the value or the cost of each card in the corner. This is the middle row of cards where the value runs from 5 to 7, and then the top row of cards where the value runs from 8 plus. You'll find yourself shopping in the bottom row most of the time at the start of the game, and eventually you start moving up to the top row. When you play against the game in a solo game, your starting hand consists of program sales, which don't bring in much income, and reserve players who are pretty average at best. What you do is you take those cards, I think there's 10 you start with, give them a good old shuffle, and you deal out the first 5. So this will be my hand right here, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And that's cards I've not used yet, but we'll get to use them soon. And in solo mode you also start with the stadium, and I start with Finn's Park Stadium, which you can just about see there. And what that does is it gives me an income of 2 whenever I play a match, as opposed to 1, which is what your income would be if you didn't have a stadium. The bot's hand, it consists of youth players who are very poor, and but also every player from that club. And as I said, they're playing as Sporting, that's the yellow team. So there's some cracking players in there, and there's some average ones as well. So that's the hand that the bot starts with. Looks like I've not shuffled them. Let's give that a quick go. So the bot has a combination of good cards and poor cards, and obviously you're hoping for a kind draw of cards as frequently as possible so you can steal points off the bot in the early game. Deal 5 cards for the bot, and we'll put their 5 cards here. I hope you can see that just fine. I think we're just fitting on the screen. So there are 5 cards. That's the badge there. What if we put that down there? You can still see it. So that's the bot's starting hand, and straight away we can see the bot doesn't have a strong starting hand, but it's still stronger than anything I've got. Now we're going to play with the advanced rules in solo mode here, and in the advanced rules the bot sheds a player every time, or sheds a youth team player every time they hit a 10-point marker in the league table. So obviously that increases the quality of their hand. And the second thing is, in the advanced rules, the bot also has an advantage, and every team's advantage is different. In the case of Sporting, their advantage is they get +1 on their attack dice. So when they attack me, add 1 to their score. In solo mode you always start with a human player, with you, and I look at what I've got now. As you may know, the figure in red means a defence score for a player, and the figure in green means an attack score. So my total attack score of my lineup is 1, not very good. Their total defence score is 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 5 makes 9, plus an extra 1 because that's a Sporting player. So their attack, the defence is 10. I've got no hope of winning this game. And you don't have to play a game. But what I'm going to do, I am going to play a game, and I'll tell you why, because I want the income from the stadium. So it's a guaranteed defeat, but we roll the dice anyway. So they're starting on a 10 and I'm starting on a 1. Futile dice roll, and the yellow team, that's the bot's team, Sporting, gets 3 points. Pause. Okay, I'm back. So, my income after playing a match is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I can spend 5 in the market, and I'm looking at who's available. I could go to middle row cards here. That's a pretty tasty start, isn't it? I'm going to do that. There's no point in not doing that, I think. I could buy this prize money, which will get me 6 every round. I'm going to do that. I think invest at the start. That's my strategy here. Invest. Any card that gets taken from the marketplace gets replaced. They are getting replaced by TV subscribers. The next thing you do at the end of your round is you take your hand, you put it into your changing room, and you deal out the next 5 cards. Now the card I just purchased, you saw that I put that into my changing room, that will come back, and that's the way that these deck building cards work. Eventually all these cards will come back into my hand, and we'll get to use them against that card I just purchased will be usable. Now you'll have noticed I've just drafted a lot of players in my new lineup. The total defence of 3 up against an attack of 3. So Verdecker is a 2+1 for being that club. Now the bot always plays against you unless it's impossible for them to win. So it's their 3 versus my 3. I'm going with the white dice, good versus evil. Come on, let's see how we do. Victory! It's a victory for Dynamo. So we're off the bottom of the table. 3 points for us as well. Great. The bot doesn't spend any money in the solo player. In the solo games, they never purchase anything, but they do everything else is the same. So they have their changing room pile as well, and then they deal 5 cards. Oh goodness me, there's some quality players coming out here. They're going to take points off me any minute now, I think. So it's my turn. My attack score is 3, 4, 5. Their defense score is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for their own players. You know, 5 versus 7, why not? Let's give it a go. 5 versus 7. It's a defeat for me, so 3 more points on the board for the bot. My income is 2 plus 1 is 3, and really fancy getting Ewu, but impossible. So I'm going to go with the injury card, which can be very useful. The injury card allows you to take one of their players out of a match, or if you prefer, you can scrap a card from your hand with it. So I'm going to take that, put that into my changing room, place the card in the marketplace that I just purchased, and this is where you see the shuffle back of the changing room the first time. Take all the cards that I've used, give them a good old shuffle. I feel under pressure shuffling this on camera. I'm sure people will be evaluating my shuffling ability, which is second to none. And then I deal the next 5 cards from my lineup. And already we can see one of the cards I purchased, the injury card, is now out and into my lineup. Pleased about that. Over to the bot, and the bot has just got an auto win, isn't it? Look at attack of 6, of 6, of 1, of 1, of 4. There's no point rolling the dice. They get 3 points, bing, up to 9. And you'll find this happens in the early game of playing against the bot, that they have a big advantage because they've got lots of quality players in their starting hand and you don't. So you're going to take a lot of defeats early on, and that's just the nature of the game. But look, they've just drawn a dud team. Delighted about that. My turn. My attack score is 2. Their defense score is 1, 2, 3. Oh, decisions. I could use the injury card to knock one of their players out, or I could use it to scrap one of my cards. I'm going to use it to knock one of theirs out. So this player is going to miss the match, which means they go down to a 2. So it's a 2 for me and a 2 for them. Let's see how we do. It's a victory for them, I'm afraid. So not only did they beat me, but they go over the 10-point mark, so they lose one of their youth players. And I take the youth player, first one I find in their scrap pile, and that youth player is now out of the game, never to return, and their hand has just got stronger. Now my income from that match is 3. I could purchase the shirt sales. Why not just purchase that, just for the laughs? So that'll give me some income when I come in to use it, and I deal my new hand of 5 cards. It's a quick turnover game, there's a great deal of variety when you are playing the match, because you're forever drawing new cards, and you never get to the bottom of these piles actually when you play any one match. So you'll find every time you play the game you come back to something quite different. It's the bot's turn. What's their attack score? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My defense score is 0. Well, I think we know where this is going. Oh, well, slaughtered me. 1, 2, 3. They got up to 15 points. So scrap their hand, put it over there, and deal out 5 new ones. And that was a really weak hand they had, but they managed to win both games against me. That's very disappointing, because you're hoping for those easier wins in the early game. And look at this. Oh, I nearly drew a real dud team. But they've got Turtle out there as the top player in the game. Right, over to me. My attack is 4. And I've got megabucks income now. Look at this. If I don't play a match, I'd still have 8 to spend. If I do play a match, I would have 10 to spend. And this is where you decide, do you want to play a game or not? Because I could choose not to play and spend those 8 coins and some juicy looking cards up here. But if I played a game, I could buy Mikhailov, who is the Dynamo goalkeeper, and a cracking one at that. It's an 8 for defence, +1 for being my player. Now their defence is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 against my 4. Do you know what? I'm going to chicken out. I'm going to buy the stadium. And what we do when you buy a stadium, you've already got one, you just replace the one that you had. And you do that instantly now. This is a new rule for anyone who's following on from the early days. So my stadium goes immediately into play. And all those cards go into the scrap. Deal the new cards to my lineup, and I've run out of players on my bench. So shuffle again the changing room. Now that stadium gets me income of 6 every time I play a match. So I've got some serious wealth now, and I'm going to use that obviously to increase the quality of my team. My team right now is rubbish. Theirs is brilliant. They're going to win. They do win because they're already on a 10 with Turtle, 11, 12, 13, 14 against my 3. It says auto win. And look at that, they're shooting up the table. They are on 18, I'm on 3. That's the nature of the solo game in the early days. You know, I forgot to use their rule, didn't I? When they attack, they get +1 on the dice. I'm not sure, well, maybe only attacked me once. The final version of Race for the Title will feature little reminders. So you'll have information printed on the team cards that will tell you what the bonuses are, so that'll be easier to follow along. Right, so they've drawn a couple of their club players, so they're quite strong. I'm not strong. I've got an attack of 1. They've got a defence of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then club bonuses takes them to 8. But I'm going to play them because I want this income. So they're on 8 and I'm on 1. I can't beat them, so they go up 1, 2, 3. They breach another 10-point mark, so they lose a youth player from their changing room. I played a game, so my income is 6, 7, 8, 9. Kapow! That's pretty good news. And with that money, again, Mikhailov's speaking to me, but I'm going to buy this formation card. And I'll tell you why. The formation cards are really worth it because look, they permanently increase your defence and attack. In this case, by 2 in defence and 2 in attack. And again, you just put it straight out. So I've beefed up my playing abilities every single time I play now. I'm going to put them like that, and you can't quite see it if I do that, so I'll do this. So scrap the 5. Now I'm getting slaughtered in the league table, but I do anticipate that this will begin to turn around soon. My new lineup is not promising from a defence perspective. They've won already because they've got Janssen in their team with a 6, +1, 7, 8, 9, 10 against my 0 defence or 2 defence. 10 against 2, straight win, 1, 2, 3 for them. Well done for Sporting. They don't even need that dice bonus just yet, do they? They are doing just fine without it. Now here come all the yellow shirted players. That's not what we want to see because they're so hard to beat. Right, so I've got my injury card here. The injury card can knock a player out of the match if their value is 5 or lower. So any of these 3 players, and Troost would be a good one to knock out because that's a defence score of 6. But it still leaves them with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 against my attack of 2, 4, 6. 9 against 6. It's not bad, is it? I'm doing it. They're 9, so I'm knocking Troost out with my injury card. Pop that on there. They're 9, my 6. Oh, so close. I was a 1 dice number away from a draw. So they go 1, 2, 3 for them. Take my injury card back. My income now is a bumper 12, 13. And finally, I'm going to buy Mikhailov. You know, now this one's talking to me. I'm doing it. I'm buying Mikhailov for 9. It was using me 4 to spend. And I'm going to get Iwu with that 4. So I've done a good job, I think, of bolstering my playing squad there. Replace those cards. And these as well, because I've used them. Now, I was tempted there to use my injury card to scrap one of my cards, and I need to start doing that soon. But I smelt the chance of victory, and in the end, of course, didn't manage it. Right, there we go, and the injury card is back. So the cards keep coming back in Race for the Title, which is why it's good to get rid of those you don't like. Right, goalkeepers do not have an attack score and do not get an attack bonus. So Troost is back in the game because Troost only missed that one match with my injury application. So they've got an attack of 1, +1, +3, +0. So that's 5, plus bonuses 6, 7 against my defence of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're 7, my 5. Come on, we can do this. We've done it! Yes! So we're up to 6. Come on. I feel the tide has turned with that incredible. Hang on, they get a +1 on their dice. I forgot about that. But I still win. Woohoo! Brilliant. Great. This is it. The tide is. You can see the fear in the eyes of this sporting team now. They know that I'm after them. Right. So here's their new lineup, and you can see them there. This is me taking them on with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got my injury card. Their defence is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can use the injury card, but I cannot knock Willems out of the game because Willems' value is too high. I'm going to use it to knock this player out. So it's 5 versus 5. Injury on there. Come on. It's a draw. I'll take a draw. I go to 7, they go to 28. They don't get a boost on the dice because it was not an attack dice for them that time. It was a defence dice. My income is 6 for the stadium. I played a match. 2 for the shirt sales. It's 8. And I'm going to buy this sneaky little card. It's called Draw a Card. So whenever this is in my lineup, I can use it to take a free card from the middle stack. So that can pay off time and time again. Look forward to seeing which cards come out. So you take the top card off the middle stack when that card is in your hand. So obviously if you get it quite early in the game, like I've just done, it's going to be well worth it as the game develops. Right, what have I got now? Some prize money. I've got big bucks coming my way here. And number 5. Oh look, there's my Kylo. Right, that makes me a pretty solid defence now, doesn't it? So my defence is 9, +1 for club bonus is 10, 11, 12, 13. Their attack is 1, 2, +5, club bonus, 7. They cannot win the game. And the rule of solo mode is if the bot can't win a game, the bot doesn't play a game. Which kind of seems fair, right? So they don't play, and they have reached the end of their stack. So what I'm going to do is shuffle these. And then we're going to deal out their new lineup. So all the quality players that they've had are coming back, but so are those reserves, apart from 2, of course. They've managed to scrap 2 of them. So their deck is stronger now than it was before, but look, they've started, nearly started out with a poor lineup. Decker's done a good job for them there. Over to me. Attack score 2, +1 is 3, nothing for this player. 4 and 5 is my attack score. They've got a 5 +1 club bonus, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Goodness, what did I say? I had 10 against 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 against 5. I'm not doing it. I'm just taking the money and running. My income is 7. So I don't get the stadium money because I'm not playing a match. So think about this. A crowd isn't come to watch us. But I've got an income of 7. And I've got some pretty good cards in that middle row. And I'm going to buy Ferraro, who's my player. He's a Dynamo player, which means you get the stats boost. So income's Ferraro. I had an income of 7. There's nothing worth 1. So I cannot spend that extra 1. And when you can't spend money in Race for the Title, the money just disappears. Right? It doesn't get saved up anywhere. It's just gone. So use it while it's there. Use it or lose it. That's what they say, don't they? Right, there we go. That's my new lineup. What have they got in attack? 1, 2, 3, club bonus 4. And I've got 2, 4, 6. they can win, but I've got a big advantage here. So I've got a +2, but they get their +1 on the dice, so I'm only 1 ahead of them. And they've beaten me. How about that? 1, 2, 3. And they've gone past the 30-point mark. So they'll scrap this youth player and the rest of their lineup. I felt I should have won that game. Very disappointed. They had a poor lineup and they've walked away with 3 points. Very disappointing. And now they've got 2 club players out. So up against it. Right, what have I got on attack? Iwu. 3, nothing, 5. So I've got a 5 on attack, and they've got a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in defence. Club bonus, 7 and 8. 8 against 5. I'm doing it for the income. They're on 8, I'm on 5. Oh, it's a draw. Whoa. So I'm nearly on the 10-point mark. I'm on 8, they're on 32. Big difference, but it's not insurmountable. My income is 6, 7, 8, 9. And with that income I could buy Vrabic, who's a beast of a defender. Or I could buy 2 cards. I'm going Vrabic. You'd be a fool not to with those stats. A 7 for defence, a 2 for attack. So Vrabic is worth it. Now I've reached the end of my bench. So once again I take all the cards that are in my changing room and I give them an awkward shuffle. And we know there's a lot of quality cards now in my hand. I'll reach a tipping point where my hand is perhaps stronger than the opponent's. And it's just a matter of when that tipping point gets reached. And look at that, there's my draw of cards come out. Right, there's my new lineup. I'm pleased to see Mikhailov, who gives me an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 defence, +1, 15 defence, against their 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attack. They cannot play me because they wouldn't win. So they don't play, and they put all their cards into that pile. And they deal out 5 new cards. There they have them. Right, over to me. My attack is 3, 5. Oh, hang on. Draw. I will use that one in a minute. My attack is 5. Their defence is 1, 2, +5, 7, plus bonus 8 and 9. 9 against 5. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to play. My income is only 1. There's nothing to buy, but I'm going to use this. Draw a card. Take the first card from here, and it becomes yours. And what have I got? Oh, a beast of a player. Canaris has joined the ranks of my Dynamo team. That's what I like to see. Another quality player in my lineup. And that draw a card will come back, and hopefully I'll get another cracker. Now sometimes you won't get a cracker, maybe you'll get like a stadium and you don't need it, because I've already actually got the best stadium. But that's just the luck of the draw. Right, there's my new team. It looks decent, but they've got Bass, who's a quality striker. Their attack score is 6, 7, 8, plus club bonus 9, 10. My defence is 1, 2, 3, plus 5 is 8, 9, 10. Club bonus 11. 11, I've forgotten already. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My 11, they're 10, but they get the +1 bonus. It's 11 via 11. And they've slaughtered me in that one. A 6 for them and a 3 for me. That is... I've been taught a lesson there, haven't I? I was cocky. I scented victory. I thought I was going to breach that 10-point mark, and they waltzed up and blew me out of the water. Learned a lesson. Or have I? Probably not. Okay, over to me. Attack score 2 plus 1 is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, club bonus 8. Their defence is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 for me, 6 for them. This has got to be a win. And it's a draw. Darn it. 9 points for me, 36 points for them. My income is 7. And there's some decent players in the middle there. I'm going to take this player. Now, this player's value is 5, so I could take this card here, the cash reserves, but actually I'm of the opinion at this stage an income card of 2 is not good enough. So I'm just not going to bother. If I get it. Oh, a yellow card is well worth it, but can't afford it. And there's a red card now for sale. The red cards are excellent. So take my lineup, put it into the changing room, deal my next 5. Come on, give me some good ones. Where are you? These are not them. Oh, there's Brabic. Right, okay, not bad. What have they got in attack? 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 6, 10, club bonus 11, against my 7, 8, 9, 10. They're 11, plus 1 actually is 12, because of their dice. 12 for them, 10 for me. It's a draw. It takes me to 10 points. It takes them to 37. Now in the solo mode, you don't actually play with the incident cards. You just leave them out of solo mode, because you've already got enough obstacles. In case you were wondering when the incident cards would be used. Right, so a draw. I mean, I need to turn these draws into wins. I think I'm not going to be a title contender if I can't hit the points in the bag. So I better get my finger out or the crowd's going to turn against me. Now, unfortunately, they've drawn some good players there. For attack, I've got 3, 4, 5. For defence, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5v9. It's just not right, is it? I really don't think. Should I? Is it worth it? Gets me an income of 410. And I could buy this cracking player for 10. But it's a guaranteed defeat, so I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. I'm running scared. So they go into the pile. I'm not going to do it because I think I'm getting to that point, and I know I've said this for a while now, I'm getting to that point where my squad or my deck is better than theirs. And I don't want to lose cheap points because they're really going to matter as we reach the end of this title campaign. Now look at that, there's Canaris, brilliant. But I noticed they've got an amazing attack. They've got Turtles a 9 plus club 10 plus 5, 15, 16 plus dice roll 17. I've only got 4, 6, 7, 8. So they win without a dice roll. They move to 40 points. And you can hear the bitterness in my voice. They lose a youth player and they put their cards over there. Give them a new lineup. 40 points against 10. Has there ever been a league champion in the history of football who were 30 points behind at some stage and they managed to win the title? I don't know. And that'll be a nice thing to work out where the point of no return is in this game. Right, I've got an injury card. May well use it. But first, what have I got in attack? 4, 6, 8. Their defence is 3, 4, 5. Club bonus 6, 7. I'm going to knock one of their players out. I mean, the value has to be 5 or lower, so it can only be Suarez or one of them. It doesn't actually matter, they're all the same, right? So I'll knock you out, so they become a 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm a 4, 6, 8. Right, a 2 advantage for me. Oh, it's a draw. Oh no. Oh, dearie me. Again a draw. My income is 12. And that's pretty juicy. Oh, I can buy a VAR card. You dancer. Right, so a VAR card, if you can read that, what it says is remove 3 points from any team. So whenever that's in your lineup, you can use it to remove 3 points from any team. And actually, the VAR card is changing in the final version of this Race for the Title. This is a prototype that we're playing here, but I've already changed the VAR card does. And you're going to ask me, what does it look like? I think it allows you to re-roll when you're defending. I can't remember. I'm sorry, I might put the answer in the comments. I can't remember for now. Right, over to the bot. What have they got on attack? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, plus the dice, 16. That's pretty decent, right? But I've got a decent lineup too. 8, 10, 13, 15, plus 1, 16. It's 16 versus 16, everyone. Don't tell me it's going to be a draw. It's a win! They've done it! Up to 4. Look at that, I beat a team that had an attack of 16. I'm delighted about that. That's amazing. Great. Right, that's it. I'm going to say it for the last time. The tide is turning. The tide has turned, everyone. The tide has turned, and Dynamo are on the march we can send the league title. You know, I think they've already started putting the green ribbons on that league trophy. The engraver has just received a text message saying, yep, and they'll be heading round to wherever they hold these trophies in preparation for handing it out on the last day of the season. I'm talking nonsense, sorry. Over to me. Right, what have I got in attack? 3, 6, 8 against a defence of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 8 against 11. Not doing it. I told you why. I'm going to draw a card, and that's as good as buying something, isn't it? What have we got? Oh, nice one. We've got ourselves a pretty decent defender. Buzek. Defence of 5 and an attack of 2. That draw a card has been well worth it. 2 cracking cards. Even if I get nothing else back from them, I think that's been well worth it. And of course, when you play a multiplayer game, you see cards like that come up in the transfer marketplace, and there's a real battle to get them first. And there's, you know, some cards are super strong and can really help tilt a game in your favour. And it's a matter of getting there first. Right, so what am I up against this time? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 attack, plus their dice makes 12. I've got 7, 8, 9. They're 12 against my 9. Slaughters them. Go look at that. Pooh, it's a 6 and a 2. So look at this, everyone. 17 points against 41. They had a cracking team. You know, last time they had Janssen in their team, we didn't even roll the dice. They were guaranteed a victory. Janssen comes back this time and is like, what's going on here? Slaughtered. Right, over to Dino. What have I got? 2, 4, 6. 6 attack, no bonuses. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9, 10, 11. 6 against 11. Not doing it. What have I got to spend? I've got 4 to spend. I'll get myself a yellow card. A yellow card is same as an injury card. It allows you to knock a player out of a game. Except this yellow cards don't have the stipulation that the value of the card must be 5 or lower. So it's a more powerful card than the injury card. You can take anyone out of one match. The red card takes a player out of an opponent's hand for the duration of their hand. Now, that means they may miss 2 matches, of course. And if you're playing a 4-player game, they might miss 4 games. So it's super powerful, depending on your setup. Right, over to Sporting. What have they got in attack now? Nothing. 5, 6, 7. Against my defence of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, technically they can win. Oh, because they go 8, don't they? So they're 8 against 12, which means we play. And that's a win for me, however you look at that. So look at this, ladies and gents. I'm on the 20-point mark. And you know, there's people out there who thought, he's never going to do this. Well, you are eating your own words, because I'm storming up this table. And look at that, they've drawn a rubbish team. Brilliant news, brilliant news. I'm going to take them to the cleaners here. What have I got? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 against a defence of 1, 2, 3. Now, egg on my face if I don't win this. Slaughters them. Of course he does. It was never in doubt. We've won again. Income is 7. I'm going to spend that on a red card. Pretty tasty. Right, got myself a red card. And I've reached the end of my bench. So all the cards go into the changing room. We give them a shuffle. And I'll deal out a new lineup. And they've got a rubbish lineup. I just need a couple of decent players, so they have to play me. I don't want my defence to be too strong here, or they would avoid playing. Now look, my VAR cards come out. Woohoo! Right, well, Vrabec probably rules them out of playing a game against me. They get 1, 2, 3, 4, plus the dice makes 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5 against 12, they cannot win, so they do not play. That's very disappointing. Now that's the downside of having strong cards when you play against a solo, is you reach a point where they avoid playing a game because they cannot win that game. Now they've got a decent lineup now, haven't they? Look at that. They're strong in defence, they're strong in attack. I am strong in defence. Attack-wise, I'm on 2, 3, 4, 5. And they are on defence-wise 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 against 5. Don't play them. I'll use my VAR card though. Take 3 points of any team. Cheerio. 1, 2, 3. You dancer. So that was a worthy hand. Now you see the power of the VAR card. That, oops, we didn't ever replace that one, did we? I didn't have any income, by the way, worth spending, so that's why I just skipped that. Oh, the red card has come out. That's pleasing to see. That's a poor lineup for me, and they are going to auto win it, aren't they? With 9, 10, 11, 12, plus the dice, 13. Auto win for them. So they have negated the power of my VAR card instantly, and I'm not pleased about that. I'm not pleased at all. And then they've got some good attackers again. Right, let's do them, lads. I've got a red card, and they can use it to send anyone off. So you want to take out, it depends, I'm not going to play them because I can't beat them. So I'm going to take out their best attacker. Suarez is red carded and goes straight to their changing room. So my red card has been used. I'm going to use my yellow card. I could do it to knock a player out, value of 5 or lower, no point then. The alternate use of a yellow card is to scrap a card from your hand, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to scrap this. Now it's from your hand, or your lineup rather, or from your changing room. I'm going to scrap my program sales card, which gets me an income of 1. I just think it's weak, and I don't need it. So that goes there. I've used that. I have nothing to spend, because I didn't play a match, and I only got an income of 1. So my hand was somewhat disappointing. Was it disappointing there? No, because I got to scrap a card, so that's pretty good. Right, so they only have a lineup now of 4 cards, because we knocked Suarez out of that game. But they still got a decent, no, more than decent team. That's 9 plus 10, 11 plus the dice is 12, and gets my 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, technically I could win this, but I do not. 1, 2, 3 for them. They're 44 points against my 23. If anyone at home cheered when they saw that dice roll, you're in big trouble. Big trouble. YouTube will report who was doing that. Right, here we are. Injury card. I can knock a player out if they're 5 or lower, or I can scrap a card. I'm going to scrap a card again. I'm going to scrap program sales card from my dressing room or changing room to further strengthen my hand. I am going to play a game. Am I? What's the defence? 2, 3, 4. Brilliant, we're going to win this. We should. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 for me, 4 for them. Whoa! It is a win though. Yeah, it is 1, 2, 3. Sorry, mental maths. Almost let me down. Income of 12. Oh, so now I could buy this 12.12 value card. Gets me 8 every time. Or I could buy a cracking player. I'm going for it. I'm going to buy Pavlovich, who costs 9. So with 3 left over, I'm going to buy the injury card because of its scrap ability. And eventually that injury card will be a little bit of a pain for me as well. But I really want to weed out the rubbish in my hand now. We've reached that stage. Now again, if you play multiplayer with lots of people, those cards become really sought after. Injury cards, red cards. There's not enough for everyone, if you play a 4-player game. So it's getting them first. Even though they've got low value, they are highly prized. Sipping my tea there. What have they got on attack? 6, 7, 8, 9, plus 1, 10. We could have a game here. What have we got? 13. Oh, nah. 16, 18, plus 1, 19. I've already forgotten what they had. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 against 19. They won't play. Ah, that is a shame. That is a real shame. Right, please, can the gods of Race for the Title guarantee a poor lineup for them? Because, whoopsie, I've got a pretty decent attack here. What have I got? 2, 5, 7, 9. I've got a 9 attack. So I can take on their most moderate lineup. And the moderate is getting out here. Yes, we are winning this. 2, 5, 7, 9 against 1, 2, 3. 9 against 3. It's an auto win. Yes it is. 1, 2, 3. 29 points for us. Oh, and draw a card. What do I get? 2 crackers so far. 3 crackers. Wilson, thanks very much. We'll take you. Income is 6. And with my 6, I will buy Paulson. What a team would grow in here. I mean, it's a lot of United players we're buying. Of course, you can buy players from any club. It doesn't matter. But if you buy players that match your club, and I'm Dynamo here, the green and whites, then you get a +1 bonus in defence and a +1 bonus in attack whenever they're in your lineup. So here's Ferraro. It's a 5 and a 2, but actually becomes a 6 and a 3. So well worth buying your own ones. And of course, it becomes a strategy in a multiplayer game. People might try and nick your players before you can, because they don't want you to get that boost. The people that do that are just, they're swines, aren't they? Anyway, where are we? Oh, they've got a terrible attack. 1, 2, 3 against 5, 7, 9, 10. 3 against 10, they cannot win, sadly. So off they go. I hope you're impressed with my mental maths. Sometimes it's top of the class. I think we can all agree. There we have it. If someone's writing in the comments right now, I've got it wrong half the time. Right, what have we got in attack? 3, 5, 7, 9, +1, 10. A 10 attack against a 5, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh man, I thought I was doing well. 10 against 13, not playing, not going to play. I'm going to throw all my toys out the pram. I've got an income of 4 and I'm going to buy Heinz, who's a good defender, right? 4 for defence, a 0 for attack. I'll have a bit of Heinz. One of the variety of players, and that was a joke. And I'm sure you're creasing yourself laughing at that one. So this is my new lineup. Tasty. What have they got in attack? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the bonus. 6 with the dice. 6, let's not forget that, I've been very forgetful. My defence is 10, 14, 15, 16, 17. They won't play. They will not play. They're scared. I'm telling you, they're scared. And we'll go again with this lineup. 3. Oh, that's pretty decent, right? 5, 8, 10, 12. No bonuses. And they've got, what have they got? 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 v12. Why not? Let's live dangerously. 12 v12. Come on. Come on the white. Please. Oh, it's a draw. I've reached 30. They've reached 45 points. And you know what? At this stage, I'm going to stop because I think you've got the gist of how this works. It is a game you play to 70 points. Or if you prefer, you could flip. This will be a board eventually. And you can flip that over and there's a 50-point game you can play instead. It just depends how much time you've got. But I've enjoyed showing you this run through. You'll have good knowledge, I think, now of how the game operates. It's all based on buying the right cards at the right time in order to grow your hand, discarding the cards you don't want, and then hoping for kind draws when the time comes. Solo mode is pretty challenging. As you can see, there was a 30-point gap at one point, but now the gap is 15 points, so I've halved that. And I feel confident that if we played a 70-point game, I might just be able to pip them to the title. And this game's been designed so that it is difficult to beat solo mode, but it's not impossible. And as I think you can see, it does take a while for that tide to turn, and you end up celebrating dice rolls like no one's business. Alright. Hey, I hope you have enjoyed watching this solo playthrough of Race for the Title. If you've got any questions about how to play the game, you can ask away on whatever page you're watching this on. I'm sure I'll come across it somehow. But for now, thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.